In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the merciful. The Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder. Dear candidates, we have prepared 11 important descriptive questions, and relevant MCQs at the end of each question. Whole of the current lecture is also available in written text form in the comments under this video at our YouTube channel, Pharmacy Jobs and MCQs. So, you can take or study the lecture in the comments. Let's start. Article: Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder. Introduction. The Drugs Act of 1976, along with the rules framed under it, constitutes a crucial legal framework aimed at regulating the manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and pharmaceutical products. Enacted to ensure public safety and control over the pharmaceutical industry, this legislation has undergone several amendments over the years to adapt to changing circumstances and advancements in the field. Objective and scope. The Drugs Act, 1976, was enacted to regulate the import, export, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and cosmetics. It aims to ensure the quality, safety, and efficacy of drugs available in the market. Licensing and registration. The Act mandates obtaining licenses or registrations for the manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs. It outlines the procedures and criteria for obtaining these licenses, emphasizing compliance with quality and safety standards. Quality control. The Act establishes provisions for quality control, including inspections, testing, and adherence to prescribed standards. Stringent measures are in place to prevent the sale of substandard or adulterated drugs. Prohibited substances. The Act specifies substances that are prohibited, restricted, or require special authorization due to their potential for misuse or harm. It addresses controlled substances and narcotics, imposing strict regulations on their handling. Labeling and packaging. Regulations under the Act dictate proper labeling and packaging of drugs to provide essential information to consumers and healthcare professionals. Clear instructions, dosage information, and cautionary statements are essential components of drug labeling. Advertisement and promotion. The Act regulates the advertisement and promotion of drugs to prevent false or misleading information. Promotional activities must adhere to guidelines to ensure ethical practices. Clinical trials and research. The legislation outlines the requirements for conducting clinical trials and research involving drugs. Ethical considerations and patient safety are paramount in these provisions. Enforcement and penalties. The Act establishes enforcement mechanisms to monitor and ensure compliance with its provisions. Penalties, including fines and imprisonment, are specified for violations, emphasizing the seriousness of adherence to the law. Regulating the pharmaceutical landscape. Unveiling the key aspects of the Drugs Act, 1976. Safeguarding public health. Licensing and quality control under the Drugs Act. Navigating drug regulations. Prohibited substances and controlled substances defined. Transparency and information. Labeling and packaging requirements for pharmaceuticals. Ethics and accountability. Advertisement guidelines for drug manufacturers. Advancing medicine responsibly. Clinical trials and research regulations. Upholding the law. Enforcement and penalties for violations of the Drugs Act, 1976. Question 1. Discussion on objective and scope of the Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder. Dear pharmacists, today, we gather to delve into a significant piece of legislation that plays a pivotal role in ensuring the safety, efficacy, and quality of drugs and pharmaceutical products available in the market. We will be exploring the objective and scope of the Drugs Act of 1976, along with the rules framed thereunder, which together form a comprehensive framework for regulating the pharmaceutical industry. Introduction to the Drugs Act, 1976. The Drugs Act of 1976, a cornerstone of pharmaceutical regulation, was enacted with a fundamental objective: to safeguard public health by regulating the import, export, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs and cosmetics. It was a response to the need for a structured legal framework to ensure that the drugs consumed by the populace are safe, effective, and of high quality. Objective of the Drugs Act, 1976. The primary objective of the Drugs Act, 1976, is multifold. Ensuring public health and safety. One of the foremost aims of the Act is to protect the health and safety of the public. By regulating the manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs, the Act seeks to prevent the availability of substandard, adulterated, or counterfeit drugs that could pose significant risks to individuals. Quality control and standardization. The Act establishes stringent quality control measures for drugs and pharmaceuticals. It mandates adherence to prescribed standards, ensuring that drugs meet established criteria for safety, efficacy, and quality. Licensing and registration. The Act necessitates obtaining licenses or registrations for various activities related to drugs, such as manufacturing, distribution, and sale. These licenses serve as a mechanism to monitor and regulate the activities of entities involved in the pharmaceutical industry. Preventing misuse and abuse. In line with its objective to protect public health, the Act addresses controlled substances and narcotics. It aims to control the availability and usage of such substances to prevent their misuse, abuse, and potential harm to society. Ethical promotion and advertisement. The Act governs the promotion and advertisement of drugs, ensuring that information provided to healthcare professionals and consumers is accurate, transparent, and ethical. This helps prevent false or misleading claims and promotes responsible marketing practices. Scope of the Drugs Act, 1976. The scope of the Drugs Act, 1976, is extensive and covers various aspects of the pharmaceutical industry. Manufacture, import, and export. The Act regulates the manufacture, import, and export of drugs, ensuring that these processes adhere to quality and safety standards. Distribution and sale. The Act governs the distribution and sale of drugs, establishing guidelines for proper handling, storage, and transportation to maintain their quality and integrity. Labeling and packaging. The Act mandates clear and accurate labeling and packaging of drugs. This includes essential information such as dosage instructions, precautions, and side effects to enable safe and informed usage. Clinical trials and research. The Act outlines the procedures and ethical considerations for conducting clinical trials and research involving drugs. It ensures that experimentation is conducted responsibly, considering patient safety and ethical principles. Controlled substances and prohibited substances. The Act identifies and regulates controlled substances and prohibited substances, imposing strict controls on their production, distribution, and use. Enforcement and penalties. The Act establishes mechanisms for enforcement, inspection, and monitoring to ensure compliance. It outlines penalties for violations, emphasizing the seriousness of adherence to the law. Conclusion. In conclusion, the Drugs Act of 1976 and the rules framed thereunder serve as a comprehensive legal framework with a noble objective: to protect public health by ensuring the availability of safe, effective, and high-quality drugs. The scope of the Act encompasses various facets of the pharmaceutical industry, from manufacturing to distribution, clinical research to labeling, and more. By upholding the objectives and scope of this legislation, we contribute to a healthier, safer society. Related MCQs. Question 1. What is the primary objective of the Drugs Act of 1976? A. To promote pharmaceutical research. B. To ensure public health and safety. C. To facilitate international drug trade. D. To encourage cosmetic industry growth. Answer. B. To ensure public health and safety. Question 2. The Drugs Act of 1976 primarily regulates A. The import and export of clothing. B. The distribution of electronics. C. The manufacture and sale of drugs. D. The transportation of agricultural products. Answer. C. The manufacture and sale of drugs. Question 3. Which activity requires obtaining licenses or registrations under the Drugs Act, 1976? A. Opening a bookstore. B. Starting a restaurant. C. Manufacturing drugs. D. Running a fitness center. Answer. C. Manufacturing drugs. Question 4. The Act aims to prevent the availability of A. High-priced luxury goods. B. Substandard and adulterated drugs. C. Counterfeit clothing. D. Excessive amounts of cosmetics. Answer. B. Substandard and adulterated drugs. Question 5. Quality control measures under the Act ensure that drugs meet criteria for A. Maximum profitability. B. Brand recognition. C. Safety, efficacy, and quality. D. Quick market entry. Answer. C. Safety, efficacy, and quality. Question 6. Licensing and registration under the Act serve as mechanisms to A. Encourage and regulated drug sales. B. Promote excessive advertising. C. Monitor and regulate pharmaceutical activities. D. Allow unrestricted manufacturing. Answer. C. Monitor and regulate pharmaceutical activities. Question 7. The Act addresses controlled substances and narcotics to A. Promote their widespread use. B. Control their availability and usage. C. Facilitate recreational consumption. D. Ease their import and export. Answer. B. Control their availability and usage. Question 8. Accurate drug labeling and packaging enable A. Promoting misleading branding. B. Overdosing. C. Safe and informed usage. D. Ignoring dosage instructions. Answer. C. Safe and informed usage. Question 9. Ethical promotion and advertisement guidelines aim to A. Increase profits for pharmaceutical companies. B. Prevent false or misleading claims. C. Eliminate all forms of marketing. D. Maximize exposure through any means. Answer. B. Prevent false or misleading claims. Question 10. The scope of the Drugs Act, 1976, includes A. Regulating pet care products. B. Monitoring fashion trends. C. Overseeing agricultural practices. D. Various aspects of the pharmaceutical industry. Answer. D. Various aspects of the pharmaceutical industry. Question 11. Which area does the Act not cover within the pharmaceutical industry? A. Clinical trials and research. B. Distribution and sale of drugs. C. Import and export of electronics. D. Manufacturing standards. Answer. C. Import and export of electronics. Question 12. What is the purpose of enforcement mechanisms and penalties under the Act? A. To encourage non-compliance. B. To promote unethical practices. C. To ensure compliance and deter violations. D. To minimize regulatory oversight. Answer. C. To ensure compliance and deter violations. Question 13. The Act's emphasis on ethical drug promotion aims to prevent A. Transparent marketing practices. B. Misleading claims. C. Compliance with guidelines. D. Consumer awareness. Answer. B. Misleading claims. Question 14. The Act's primary role in relation to clinical trials and research is to A. Encourage experimental drug use. B. Ensure patient safety and ethical principles. C. Bypass regulatory approval. D. Expedite drug development. Answer. B. Ensure patient safety and ethical principles. Question 15. Controlled substances and prohibited substances are subject to strict A. Quality control standards. B. Advertising guidelines. C. Regulation and distribution controls. D. Taxation policies. Answer. C. Regulation and distribution controls. Question 16. The Act's objective of preventing misuse primarily pertains to A. Promoting recreational drug use. B. Ensuring proper dosage instructions. C. Regulating the distribution of over-the-counter drugs. D. Controlling availability and usage of certain substances. Answer. D. Controlling availability and usage of certain substances. Question 17. The comprehensive legal framework provided by the Drugs Act contributes to A. Increased availability of counterfeit drugs. B. Neglect of ethical practices. C. Safer, effective, and high-quality drugs. D. Lower costs for pharmaceutical companies. Answer. C. Safer, effective, and high-quality drugs. Question 18. The Drugs Act of 1976 focuses on A. Regulating electronic gadgets. B. Monitoring agricultural practices. C. Ensuring the safety of cosmetic products. D. Safeguarding public health through pharmaceutical regulation. Answer. D. Safeguarding public health through pharmaceutical regulation. Question 19. The Act mandates stringent quality control measures to ensure that drugs meet established criteria for A. Brand recognition. B. Profits. C. Safety and efficacy. D. Innovation. Answer. C. Safety and efficacy. Question 20. What is the underlying purpose of the Drugs Act's licensing and registration requirements? A. To hinder the growth of the pharmaceutical industry. B. To promote unregulated drug sales. C. To facilitate marketing strategies. D. To monitor and regulate pharmaceutical activities. Answer. D. To monitor and regulate pharmaceutical activities. Question 2. Read the topic, Objective and Scope of the Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder. Answer the relevant MCQs given at the end. Here is a lecture on the topic of licensing and registration under the Drugs Act of 1976, along with the rules that have been framed under this Act. The Drugs Act, 1976 is a pivotal piece of legislation in Pakistan that regulates the manufacturing, import, export, distribution, sale, and use of drugs. The Act ensures the quality, safety, and efficacy of drugs available in the market, ultimately safeguarding public health. Introduction to the Drugs Act, 1976. The Drugs Act, 1976 was enacted to regulate the import, manufacture, distribution, and sale of drugs in Pakistan. Its primary objective is to ensure that only safe, effective, and quality drugs are made available to the public, while also preventing the misuse and abuse of drugs. The Act empowers the federal and provincial governments to establish regulatory bodies, such as the Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan (DRAP), to oversee the implementation of its provisions. Licensing and registration. Under the Drugs Act, 1976, any individual or entity involved in the manufacturing, import, distribution, sale, or other related activities of drugs is required to obtain a license or registration from the relevant regulatory authority. Let's break down the different aspects of licensing and registration. Manufacturing license. Manufacturers of drugs are required to obtain a manufacturing license before initiating production. This license ensures that manufacturing facilities comply with quality standards, good manufacturing practices (GMP), and safety protocols. It involves a rigorous inspection of the manufacturing premises and processes. Import license. Entities importing drugs into Pakistan must acquire an import license. This license is granted based on the assessment of the drug's safety, efficacy, and compliance with regulatory standards. It is imperative to ensure that imported drugs meet the required quality benchmarks. Distribution and wholesale license. Entities engaged in the distribution and wholesale of drugs need to obtain a license for these activities. The regulatory authorities ensure that proper storage, handling, and transportation procedures are followed to maintain the quality and integrity of drugs during distribution. Retail license. Retail pharmacies and outlets selling drugs to consumers must acquire a retail license. This license guarantees that drugs are dispensed under the supervision of qualified pharmacists and in accordance with prescribed guidelines. Clinical trial registration. Before conducting clinical trials for new drugs, pharmaceutical companies or research institutions are required to register their trials with the regulatory authority. This ensures transparency, ethical conduct, and adherence to scientific standards in clinical research. Rules framed under the Drugs Act, 1976. Several rules have been framed under the Drugs Act, 1976, to provide detailed guidance on its implementation. Some of the key rules include Drug Rules, 1976. These rules outline the procedures and requirements for obtaining various licenses and registrations under the Drugs Act. They specify the documentation, fees, and criteria for eligibility. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. These rules govern the labeling and packaging requirements for drugs. Proper labeling is essential to provide accurate information to consumers and healthcare professionals about the drug's composition, usage, and potential side effects. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. These rules regulate the import and export of drugs. They detail the process of obtaining import and export licenses, importation procedures, and the documentation required for customs clearance. Good Manufacturing Practices (GMP). The regulatory authorities have established GMP guidelines to ensure that manufacturing facilities maintain high standards of quality and safety during drug production. Schedule of Controlled Drugs. This schedule classifies drugs into different categories based on their potential for abuse and medical use. It helps in controlling the availability and use of potentially harmful substances. In conclusion, the Drugs Act, 1976, and the rules framed under it play a crucial role in ensuring the availability of safe and effective drugs in Pakistan. Licensing and registration requirements help to regulate various aspects of the drug industry, including manufacturing, import, distribution, and sales. These measures are essential to protect public health, prevent misuse, and maintain the overall quality of drugs circulating in the market. As future professionals in the healthcare or pharmaceutical industry, it is imperative to understand and abide by these regulations to contribute to the well-being of society. Related MCQs. Question 1. What is the primary objective of the Drugs Act, 1976? A. To generate revenue for the government. B. To regulate the import and export of all goods. C. To ensure the availability of safe and quality drugs. D. To promote international trade. Answer. Circa. Question 2. Which regulatory body is responsible for overseeing the implementation of the Drugs Act, 1976? A. Ministry of Health. B. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. C. World Health Organization WHO. D. Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI. Answer. B. Question 3. Which activities require obtaining a license or registration under the Drugs Act, 1976? A. Only drug manufacturing. B. Only drug distribution. C. Drug manufacturing, import, distribution, sale, and related activities. D. Only drug sales at retail pharmacies. Answer. Circa. Question 4. What does GMP stand for in the context of drug manufacturing? A. General manufacturing practices. B. Good manufacturing protocols. C. Governmental manufacturing procedures. D. Good manufacturing practices. Answer. D. Question 5. Which license is required for entities engaged in the distribution and wholesale of drugs? A. Import license. B. Retail license. C. Wholesale license. D. Distribution license. Answer. Circa. Question 6. What is the purpose of clinical trial registration? A. To ensure drug distribution in clinical trials. B. To regulate the export of drugs for clinical trials. C. To promote international collaboration in research. D. To ensure transparency and ethical conduct in clinical research. Answer. D. Question 7. Which rules govern the labeling and packaging requirements for drugs? A. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. B. Good Manufacturing Practices, GMP. C. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. D. Schedule of Controlled Drugs. Answer. C. Question 8. What do the Drug Rules, 1976 outline? A. Procedures for clinical trials. B. Procedures for obtaining licenses and registrations. C. Procedures for drug import and export. D. Procedures for drug labeling and packaging. Answer. B. Question 9. The schedule of controlled drugs classifies drugs based on A. Their color and appearance. B. Their potential for abuse and medical use. C. Their cost and availability. D. Their taste and smell. Answer. B. Question 10. What is the role of the Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP? A. To manufacture drugs. B. To import and export drugs. C. To oversee the implementation of the Drugs Act, 1976. D. To distribute drugs to pharmacies. Answer. Circa. Question 11. What is the purpose of obtaining an import license for drugs? A. To increase revenue for the government. B. To regulate the sale of drugs. C. To assess the safety and quality of imported drugs. D. To promote international trade. Answer. Circa. Question 12. Which license ensures that drugs are dispensed under the supervision of qualified pharmacists? A. Manufacturing license. B. Wholesale license. C. Retail license. D. Import license. Answer. Circa. Question 13. Which rules regulate the import and export of drugs? A. Drug Rules, 1976. B. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. C. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. D. Good Manufacturing Practices, GMP. Answer. Circa. Question 14. What is the purpose of the Schedule of Controlled Drugs? A. To determine drug prices. B. To classify drugs based on their quality. C. To control the availability and use of potentially harmful substances. D. To regulate drug advertisements. Answer. Circa. Question 15. Which regulatory body is responsible for establishing GMP guidelines? A. Ministry of Health. B. World Health Organization WHO. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. D. Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI. Answer. Circa. Question 16. What does the term GMP stand for? A. General Manufacturing Protocols. B. Good Manufacturing Procedures. C. Governmental Manufacturing Practices. D. Good Manufacturing Practices. Answer. D. Question 17. Which license is required for manufacturers of drugs before initiating production? A. Wholesale license. B. Retail license. C. Import license. D. Manufacturing license. Answer. D. Question 18. Which rule governs the procedures and requirements for obtaining various licenses and registrations under the Drugs Act? A. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. B. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. C. Drug Rules, 1976. D. Good Manufacturing Practices, GMP. Answer. Circa. Question 19. What is the primary objective of the Drug Rules, 1976? A. To promote international trade. B. To regulate the import and export of drugs. C. To ensure the availability of safe and quality drugs. D. To establish GMP guidelines. Answer. Circa. Question 20. Why is proper labeling and packaging important for drugs? A. To increase the cost of drugs. B. To make drugs look more attractive. C. To provide accurate information to consumers and healthcare professionals. D. To prevent the import of counterfeit drugs. Answer. Circa. Question 21. Who needs to obtain a retail license? A. Manufacturers of drugs. B. Entities engaged in drug distribution. C. Retail pharmacies selling drugs to consumers. D. Research institutions conducting clinical trials. Answer. Circa. Question 22. What is the purpose of clinical trial registration? A. To ensure the distribution of drugs to retail pharmacies. B. To promote the use of new and untested drugs. C. To ensure transparency, ethical conduct, and adherence to scientific standards. D. To accelerate the approval process for drug manufacturing licenses. Answer. Circa. Question 23. Which rules detail the process of obtaining import and export licenses, importation procedures, and the required documentation for customs clearance? A. Drug Rules, 1976. B. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. C. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. D. Good Manufacturing Practices, GMP. Answer. Circa. Question 24. How does the schedule of controlled drugs assist in drug regulation? A. It determines drug prices. B. It classifies drugs based on their color. C. It controls the availability and use of potentially harmful substances. D. It promotes the import of controlled substances. Answer. Circa. Question 25. What role do licensing and registration requirements play in the drug industry? A. They generate revenue for the government. B. They promote international trade. C. They protect public health, prevent misuse, and maintain drug quality. D. They encourage the production of generic drugs. Answer. C. Question 3. Read the topic, Quality Control and Standardization, under the Drugs Act, 1976 and rules thereunder, and reply to the MCQs asked at the end. In the realm of pharmaceuticals, ensuring the safety, efficacy, and quality of drugs is of paramount importance to safeguard public health. The Drugs Act of 1976, a pivotal legislative piece in Pakistan, recognizes this imperative by placing a significant emphasis on quality control and standardization within the pharmaceutical industry. This article delves into the comprehensive understanding of quality control and standardization under the Drugs Act, 1976, and the rules framed therein. Introduction to Quality Control and Standardization. The Drugs Act, 1976, envisions a pharmaceutical landscape where drugs are manufactured, distributed, and consumed with the highest degree of quality and safety. Quality control refers to the systematic process of assessing, monitoring, and ensuring that drugs meet predetermined standards throughout their life cycle, from manufacturing to distribution. Standardization, on the other hand, involves establishing uniform criteria, specifications, and procedures to maintain consistent quality across different batches and brands of drugs. Key aspects of quality control and standardization. Good manufacturing practices (GMP). The Drugs Act, 1976, emphasizes the adherence to good manufacturing practices. GMP entails a set of guidelines that ensure the consistent quality and safety of drugs during production. This encompasses various aspects such as facility design, equipment calibration, quality assurance, personnel training, and documentation. Quality control laboratories. The Act requires drug manufacturers to establish quality control laboratories equipped with modern analytical instruments and techniques. These laboratories play a pivotal role in testing and analyzing raw materials, intermediate products, and finished drugs to ensure they meet predetermined standards. Batch testing and release. Before a batch of drugs can be distributed, it must undergo rigorous testing to ensure its quality, safety, and efficacy. Only after passing the specified tests can the batch be released for distribution. Stability testing. The Act mandates stability testing to assess the shelf life and effectiveness of drugs under different storage conditions. This helps ensure that drugs retain their quality over time and remain safe and effective for consumers. Drug analysis and evaluation. Regulatory authorities have the power to conduct random sampling and analysis of drugs from the market to verify their compliance with quality standards. Non-compliant drugs can be recalled or removed from the market to prevent harm to consumers. Rules framed under the Drugs Act, 1976 for quality control and standardization. Drug licensing, registering and advertising rules, 1976. These rules lay down the requirements for drug manufacturers to establish quality control laboratories. They specify the qualifications and responsibilities of the technical staff in these laboratories. Drug labeling and packing rules, 1986. Proper labeling is crucial for ensuring quality and safety. These rules define the information that must be present on the drug label, including its composition, dosage, side effects, and storage instructions. Drug import and export rules, 1976. Quality control is vital for imported drugs as well. These rules ensure that imported drugs adhere to the same quality standards as domestically manufactured ones. National Drug Policy, 1994. This policy recognizes the need for quality control and standardization as integral components of the pharmaceutical sector. It sets guidelines for the registration, import, and manufacture of drugs while emphasizing their quality. In conclusion, quality control and standardization are cornerstones of the pharmaceutical industry, ensuring that drugs are safe, effective, and of consistent quality. The Drugs Act, 1976, along with the rules framed under it, establishes a robust framework for quality control and standardization. By enforcing good manufacturing practices, requiring quality control laboratories, and implementing batch testing and stability evaluation, the Act contributes significantly to maintaining public health and safety. As future professionals in the pharmaceutical field, Understanding and adhering to these regulations is essential to uphold the principles of quality control and standardization, ultimately benefiting society as a whole. Related MCQs. Question 1. What is the primary objective of quality control and standardization in the pharmaceutical industry? A. Increasing production efficiency. B. Reducing drug costs. C. Safeguarding public health and safety. D. Promoting international trade. Answer. Circa. Question 2. The Drugs Act of 1976 emphasizes quality control to ensure drugs meet predetermined standards throughout their A. Manufacturing only. B. Manufacturing and distribution. C. Distribution and consumption. D. Consumption only. Answer. B. Question 3. What does standardization in the pharmaceutical industry involve? A. Establishing uniform quality standards for all industries. B. Ensuring equal distribution of drugs. C. Creating different standards for different batches of drugs. D. Setting consistent criteria, specifications, and procedures for drug quality. Answer. D. Question 4. What does GMP stand for in the context of pharmaceuticals? A. Good manufacturing practices. B. General manufacturing protocols. C. Guaranteed medication practices. D. Government mandated procedures. Answer. A. Question 5. Which aspect is not covered by good manufacturing practices (GMP? A. Facility design. B. Equipment calibration. C. Marketing strategies. D. Personnel training. Answer. C. Question 6. Quality control laboratories in drug manufacturing are responsible for A. Distributing drugs to pharmacies. B. Analyzing consumer feedback. C. Testing and analyzing raw materials and finished drugs. D. Providing medical consultations. Answer. C. Question 7. Before distributing a batch of drugs, what process must it undergo? A. Advertising review. B. Stability testing. C. Branding and packaging. D. Administrative approval. Answer. B. Question 8. Stability testing of drugs is conducted to assess A. Consumer feedback. B. Brand popularity. C. Shelf life and effectiveness under different storage conditions. D. Marketing strategies. Answer. Circa. Question 9. Regulatory authorities conduct random sampling and analysis of drugs from the market to A. Increase drug costs. B. Verify compliance with quality standards. C. Promote specific drug brands. D. Support local manufacturers. Answer. B. Question 10. Which rule specifies the requirements for drug manufacturers to establish quality control laboratories? A. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. C. Drug Licensing, Registering and Advertising Rules, 1976. D. National Drug Policy, 1994. Answer. Circa. Question 11. Proper labeling on drug products is essential for A. Enhancing brand recognition. B. Ensuring quality and safety. C. Increasing production efficiency. D. Reducing drug costs. Answer. B. Question 12. The Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986, define the information that must be present on the drug label, including its A. Manufacturer's location. B. Marketing strategy. C. Composition, dosage, side effects, and storage instructions. D. Retail price. Answer. Circa. Question 13. Which rules ensure that imported drugs adhere to the same quality standards as domestically manufactured ones? A. Drug licensing. Registering and Advertising Rules, 1976. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. C. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. D. National Drug Policy, 1994. Answer: B. Question 14. The National Drug Policy, 1994, emphasizes quality control and standardization as integral components of the A. Pharmaceutical sector. B. Advertising industry. C. Political system. D. Food and beverage industry. Answer: A. Question 15. Quality control and standardization in the pharmaceutical industry contribute to A. Increasing drug costs. B. Enhancing brand recognition. C. Reducing production efficiency. D. Safeguarding public health and safety. Answer: D. Question 16. The Drugs Act of 1976, along with the rules framed under it, aims to establish a robust framework for A. Reducing drug availability. B. Increasing production costs. C. Marketing new drugs. D. Quality control and standardization. Answer: D. Question 17. Which aspect is not part of Good Manufacturing Practices (GMP)? A. Equipment calibration. B. Quality assurance. C. Stock market analysis. D. Facility design. Answer: Circa. Question 18. Which laboratories play a pivotal role in testing and analyzing raw materials, intermediate products, and finished drugs? A. Distribution laboratories. B. Retail pharmacies. C. Quality control laboratories. D. Advertising agencies. Answer: Circa. Question 19. Stability testing is conducted to assess the A. Market demand for a drug. B. Shelf life and effectiveness of drugs. C. Marketing strategy of a drug. D. Availability of raw materials. Answer: B. Question 20. Regulatory authorities have the power to conduct random sampling and analysis of drugs to A. Promote certain drug brands. B. Verify compliance with marketing regulations. C. Ensure uniform pricing of drugs. D. Verify compliance with quality standards. Answer: D. Question 21. Which rule sets guidelines for the registration, import, and manufacture of drugs while emphasizing their quality? A. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. C. National Drug Policy, 1994. D. Drug Licensing, Registering and Advertising Rules, 1976. Answer: Circa. Question 22. Quality control and standardization contribute significantly to maintaining A. Profit margins for pharmaceutical companies. B. Consistency in marketing strategies. C. Public health and safety. D. Production efficiency. Answer: Circa. Question 23. The primary purpose of the Drug Licensing, Registering and Advertising Rules, 1976, is to lay down requirements for drug manufacturers to establish A. Brand recognition. B. Marketing strategies. C. Quality control laboratories. D. Distribution networks. Answer: Circa. Question 24. Which policy recognizes quality control and standardization as integral components of the pharmaceutical sector? A. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. B. Drug Import and Export Rules, 1976. C. National Drug Policy, 1994. D. Drug Licensing, Registering and Advertising Rules, 1976. Answer: Circa. Question 25. Quality control and standardization in the pharmaceutical industry contribute to maintaining public health and safety by A. Reducing the shelf life of drugs. B. Focusing on brand recognition. C. Ensuring uniform drug pricing. D. Ensuring drugs are safe, effective, and of consistent quality. Answer: D. Question 4. Read the Preventing Misuse and Abuse in the Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder, and answer the MCQs please. Preventing Misuse and Abuse in the Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder. In the realm of pharmaceuticals and public health, preventing the misuse and abuse of drugs is of paramount importance. The Drugs Act of 1976, a significant legislative piece in Pakistan, recognizes the grave consequences of drug misuse and abuse and places a strong emphasis on measures to address this issue within the pharmaceutical industry. This article delves into the comprehensive understanding of preventing misuse and abuse under the Drugs Act, 1976, and the rules framed therein. Introduction to Preventing Misuse and Abuse. The misuse and abuse of drugs pose a multifaceted threat to public health, encompassing various aspects such as addiction, adverse health effects, and societal repercussions. The Drugs Act, 1976, acknowledges the urgent need to prevent and mitigate these risks, aiming to ensure that drugs are used only for their intended therapeutic purposes and under appropriate medical supervision. Important points in preventing misuse and abuse. Controlled substances. The Act categorizes drugs into different schedules based on their potential for misuse and abuse. Substances with a higher potential for abuse, such as narcotics and psychotropic drugs, are placed under stricter controls to prevent their unauthorized distribution and use. Prescription requirements. To curtail the improper use of potent drugs, the Act mandates that certain drugs can only be dispensed with a valid prescription from a registered medical practitioner. This control mechanism ensures that such drugs are used under proper medical guidance. Prescription monitoring. Regulatory authorities monitor prescriptions of controlled substances to detect patterns of overuse or misuse by patients or prescribers. This monitoring helps identify individuals who may be engaged in drug abuse or doctor shopping. Pharmacist oversight. Licensed pharmacists play a critical role in preventing misuse by verifying prescriptions and educating patients about the proper use of prescribed medications. They ensure that patients understand dosages, potential side effects, and proper administration. Labeling and packaging. Clear and accurate labeling on drug products, detailing usage instructions, warnings, and potential side effects, helps prevent misuse by providing essential information to consumers and healthcare professionals. Advertising and promotion. The Act regulates the advertising and promotion of drugs to prevent misleading claims that could lead to misuse. Advertisements must provide accurate information about the drug's indications, benefits, and risks. Rules framed under the Drugs Act, 1976 for preventing misuse and abuse. Drug licensing, registering and advertising rules, 1976. These rules lay down regulations for drug advertisements, ensuring that they are accurate, balanced, and not misleading. They prevent the promotion of drugs for unapproved uses or excessive claims. Drug labeling and packing rules, 1986. These rules mandate clear labeling, including usage instructions and potential side effects. Proper labeling prevents confusion and misuse by providing essential information to consumers. Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001. These rules provide specific guidelines for the import, export, manufacture, sale, possession, and use of narcotics and psychotropic substances. They emphasize strict control measures to prevent their misuse and abuse. Psychotropic Substances Rules, 2003. Similar to the Narcotic Substances Rules, These rules focus on the control and regulation of psychotropic substances to prevent their misuse and abuse. Preventing the misuse and abuse of drugs is a critical component of public health and regulatory efforts. The Drugs Act, 1976, and the rules framed under it establish a robust framework to prevent such issues. By categorizing substances, imposing prescription requirements, implementing prescription monitoring, involving pharmacists in oversight, and regulating advertising, these regulations contribute significantly to safeguarding public health and safety. As future professionals in the healthcare and pharmaceutical fields, understanding and adhering to these measures are essential to uphold the principles of responsible drug use and contribute to the overall well-being of society. Related MCQs. Question 1. What is the primary focus of preventing misuse and abuse under the Drugs Act of 1976? A. Enhancing drug manufacturing. B. Safeguarding public health and safety. C. Expanding drug distribution networks. D. Reducing drug costs. Answer. B. Question 2. The Drugs Act of 1976 emphasizes preventing misuse and abuse to ensure that drugs are used for A. Recreational purposes. B. Experimental use. C. Intended therapeutic purposes. D. Research and development. Answer. Circa. Question 3. Controlled substances under the Act are categorized into different schedules based on their potential for A. Profitable distribution. B. International trade. C. Misuse and abuse. D. Government oversight. Answer. Circa. Question 4. Which type of drugs are placed under stricter controls to prevent their unauthorized distribution and use? A. Over-the-counter medications. B. Herbal supplements. C. Narcotics and psychotropic drugs. D. Dietary supplements. Answer. Circa. Question 5. Prescription requirements under the Act mandate that certain drugs can only be dispensed with a valid prescription from A. Certified pharmacist. B. Registered medical practitioner. C. Drug manufacturer. D. Law enforcement officer. Answer. B. Question 6. What is the purpose of prescription monitoring by regulatory authorities? A. To increase drug sales. B. To control drug imports. C. To detect patterns of misuse or overuse. D. To promote generic drugs. Answer. Circa. Question 7. Licensed pharmacists play a critical role in preventing misuse by A. Manufacturing drugs. B. Marketing drugs. C. Educating patients and verifying prescriptions. D. Importing drugs. Answer. Circa. Question 8. What is the role of pharmacists in preventing misuse and abuse? A. Dispensing drugs without prescriptions. B. Promoting off-label drug use. C. Educating patients and verifying prescriptions. D. Advertising pharmaceutical products. Answer. Circa. Question 9. Clear and accurate labeling on drug products helps prevent misuse by providing essential information to A. Regulatory authorities. B. Drug manufacturers. C. Law enforcement agencies. D. Consumers and healthcare professionals. Answer. D. Question 10. The Act regulates the advertising and promotion of drugs to prevent A. Generic drug sales. B. Brand recognition. C. Misleading claims that could lead to misuse. D. International drug trade. Answer. Circa. Question 11. Which rules lay down regulations for drug advertisements to prevent them from being misleading? A. Drug licensing, registering and advertising rules, 1976. B. Drug labeling and packing rules, 1986. C. Narcotic substances rules, 2001. D. Psychotropic substances rules, 2003. Answer. A. Question 12. Which rules mandate clear labeling on drug products to prevent confusion and misuse? A. Drug Licensing, Registering and Advertising Rules, 1976. B. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. C. Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001. D. Psychotropic Substances Rules, 2003. Answer: B. Question 13. The Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001, provide specific guidelines for the import, export, manufacture, sale, possession, and use of over-the-counter medications. B. Herbal supplements. C. Narcotics and psychotropic substances. D. Dietary supplements. Answer: Circa. Question 14. The Psychotropic Substances Rules, 2003, focus on the control and regulation of psychotropic substances to prevent a. Generic drug sales. B. Misuse and abuse. C. Experimental drug use. D. International drug trade. Answer: B. Question 15. The regulations under the Drugs Act, 1976, contribute significantly to safeguarding a. Drug manufacturers' profits. B. International trade agreements. C. Public health and safety. D. Access to experimental drugs. Answer: Circa. Question 16. Preventing misuse and abuse of drugs is vital to avoid a. Profitable drug distribution. B. International drug trade. C. Adverse health effects and societal repercussions. D. Generic drug availability. Answer: Circa. Question 17. The main focus of the Drugs Act of 1976 is to prevent a. Drug imports. B. Drug distribution. C. Drug misuse and abuse. D. Drug manufacturing. Answer: Circa. Question 18. Prescription requirements under the Act aim to curtail the improper use of a. Inactive ingredients. B. Placebo drugs. C. Potent drugs. D. Herbal supplements. Answer: Circa. Question 19. What role do licensed pharmacists play in preventing misuse and abuse? A. Manufacturing drugs. B. Distributing drugs. C. Verifying prescriptions and educating patients. D. Advertising drugs. Answer: Circa. Question 20. Clear labeling and accurate information on drug products are crucial to prevent a. Generic drug sales. B. Misleading advertisements. C. Drug imports. D. International trade agreements. Answer: B. Question 21. Which rules lay down regulations for drug advertisements to prevent excessive claims and unapproved uses? A. Drug Licensing, Registering and Advertising Rules, 1976. B. Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986. C. Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001. D. Psychotropic Substances Rules, 2003. Answer: A. Question 22. The Narcotic Substances Rules, 2001, emphasize strict control measures to prevent the misuse and abuse of a. Over-the-counter medications. B. Herbal supplements. C. Narcotics and psychotropic substances. D. Dietary supplements. Answer: Circa. Question 23. The regulations under the Drugs Act, 1976, contribute significantly to safeguarding a. Drug manufacturers' profits. B. International trade agreements. C. Public health and safety. D. Access to experimental drugs. Answer: Circa. Question 24. Preventing misuse and abuse of drugs is vital to avoid a. Profitable drug distribution. B. International drug trade. C. Adverse health effects and societal repercussions. D. Generic drug availability. Answer: Circa. Question 25. The main focus of the Drugs Act of 1976 is to prevent a. Drug imports. B. Drug distribution. C. Drug misuse and abuse. D. Drug manufacturing. Answer. Circa. Question 5. Read Ethical Promotion and Advertisement in the Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder, and answer to the MCQs. In the realm of the pharmaceutical industry, ethical promotion and advertisement of medical products stand as pillars of responsible business practices and patient safety. The Drugs Act of 1976, a cornerstone of pharmaceutical legislation in Pakistan, recognizes the significance of ethical promotion and advertising to ensure the accurate dissemination of information and the protection of public health. This article delves into a comprehensive understanding of ethical promotion and advertisement under the Drugs Act, 1976, and the rules framed therein, highlighting the importance, challenges, and regulatory frameworks governing this critical aspect. Introduction to Ethical Promotion and Advertisement. Ethical promotion and advertisement encompass the principled and accurate communication of information about pharmaceutical products to healthcare professionals, patients, and the public. The primary goal is to foster informed decision-making while maintaining the highest standards of professional integrity and patient safety. Importance of ethical promotion and advertisement. Patient-centric approach. Ethical promotion ensures that patients receive factual and balanced information about medications, empowering them to make well-informed choices that align with their health needs. Professional integrity. Healthcare practitioners rely on reliable and unbiased information to make informed decisions. Ethical promotion supports their clinical judgment and upholds the trust between pharmaceutical companies and medical professionals. Public trust. Ethical practices strengthen public confidence in the pharmaceutical industry, reinforcing the perception that the sector is committed to enhancing healthcare outcomes rather than solely pursuing financial gain. Challenges in ethical promotion and advertisement. Conflict of interest. Balancing promotional activities with financial incentives can create conflicts of interest that compromise the impartiality of promotional content. Misleading claims. Inaccurate or exaggerated claims can misguide healthcare professionals and patients, leading to inappropriate prescribing practices and potential harm. Off-label promotion. Promoting drugs for unapproved uses may jeopardize patient safety and result in legal and regulatory repercussions. Regulatory framework for ethical promotion and advertisement. Code of conduct. Many pharmaceutical companies adhere to self-imposed codes of conduct that outline ethical guidelines for promotion and advertising. These codes often prohibit false claims, exaggerated statements, and off-label promotion. Government regulations. Regulatory authorities, such as the Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan (DRAP), have established rigorous guidelines for pharmaceutical promotion and advertising. These regulations ensure that promotional materials accurately represent the drug's properties, indications, and safety profiles. Labeling and packaging rules. The Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986, mandate that drug labels provide accurate and comprehensive information, including indications, dosage instructions, contraindications, and potential side effects. Prohibition of misleading claims. The Drugs Act, 1976, and its rules prohibit false or misleading claims about the efficacy, safety, or quality of drugs. Educational programs. Ethical promotion may involve educational initiatives aimed at providing accurate information to healthcare professionals about the proper use, benefits, and risks of pharmaceutical products. Transparency measures. Disclosure of financial relationships. Regulatory bodies may require pharmaceutical companies to disclose financial relationships with healthcare professionals, ensuring transparency and minimizing conflicts of interest. Monitoring and enforcement. Regulatory authorities actively monitor promotional materials and advertisements to identify violations of ethical guidelines and take appropriate enforcement actions. In conclusion, ethical promotion and advertisement within the pharmaceutical industry are fundamental for patient safety, professional integrity, and public trust. Striking a balance between promotion and accurate information dissemination is vital to ensure that healthcare decisions prioritize patient well-being over commercial interests. Adherence to ethical principles, regulatory guidelines, and self-regulation collectively contribute to establishing an ethical pharmaceutical sector that is dedicated to advancing healthcare and safeguarding public health. As future professionals in the healthcare and pharmaceutical domains, a robust understanding of and commitment to ethical promotion and advertising practices are essential to contribute to the elevation of medical standards and the overall betterment of society. Related MCQs. Question 1. What does ethical promotion and advertisement of medical products aim to achieve? A. Maximize profits. B. Ensure patient safety and informed decision-making. C. Undermine public trust. D. Exclude healthcare professionals. Answer. B. Ensure patient safety and informed decision-making. Question 2. Which legislation in Pakistan recognizes the significance of ethical promotion and advertising? A. Medical Act of 1976. B. Healthcare Law of 1980. C. Drugs Act of 1976. D. Pharmaceutical Regulation Act of 1990. Answer. C. Drugs Act of 1976. Question 3. What is the primary goal of ethical promotion and advertisement? A. Maximizing financial gain. B. Providing biased information to patients. C. Enhancing public trust. D. Fostering informed decision-making and maintaining professional integrity. Answer. D. Fostering informed decision-making and maintaining professional integrity. Question 4. What is a potential consequence of misleading claims in pharmaceutical promotion? A. Increased patient safety. B. Enhanced healthcare outcomes. C. Inappropriate prescribing practices and potential harm. D. Stronger public trust. Answer. C. Inappropriate prescribing practices and potential harm. Question 5. Which regulatory authority in Pakistan is responsible for establishing guidelines for pharmaceutical promotion and advertising? A. Health Ministry of Pakistan. B. Pharmaceutical Regulatory Board. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. D. Medical Ethics Committee. Answer. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. Question 6. What do the Labeling and Packaging Rules, 1986 mandate for drug labels? A. Including marketing slogans. B. Omitting contraindications. C. Providing accurate and comprehensive information. D. Highlighting potential side effects only. Answer. C. Providing accurate and comprehensive information. Question 7. Why is disclosure of financial relationships with healthcare professionals important in pharmaceutical promotion? A. To increase conflicts of interest. B. To undermine public trust. C. To ensure transparency and minimize conflicts of interest. D. To promote off-label promotion. Answer. C. To ensure transparency and minimize conflicts of interest. Question 8. What does ethical promotion prioritize over commercial interests? A. Patient safety and informed decision-making. B. Financial gain. C. Exaggerated claims. D. Government regulations. Answer. A. Patient safety and informed decision-making. Question 9. Which aspect is not a challenge in ethical promotion and advertisement? A conflict of interest. B. Misleading claims. C. Off-label promotion. D. Exaggerated statements. Answer. D. Exaggerated statements. Question 10. What is the primary focus of the Drugs Act of 1976? A. Ensuring maximum profits for pharmaceutical companies. B. Safeguarding patient data. C. Regulating ethical promotion and advertisement. D. Protecting public health through regulation of drugs. Answer. D. Protecting public health through regulation of drugs. Question 11. What is the purpose of the Code of Conduct for Pharmaceutical Promotion and Advertisement? A. Maximize financial gain. B. Ensure accurate and balanced information. C. Promote misleading claims. D. Exclude healthcare professionals. Answer. B. Ensure accurate and balanced information. Question 12. Which regulatory body monitors and enforces ethical guidelines for pharmaceutical promotion? A. World Health Organization (WHO). B. United Nations (UN). C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan (DRAP). D. International Red Cross. Answer. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan (DRAP). Question 13. What is the key role of healthcare professionals in ethical promotion and advertisement? A. Balancing promotional activities with financial incentives. B. Verifying financial relationships with pharmaceutical companies. C. Providing accurate information and upholding professional integrity. D. Monitoring and enforcing regulatory guidelines. Answer. C. Providing accurate information and upholding professional integrity. Question 14. What is the main objective of transparency measures in pharmaceutical promotion? A. Increase profits for pharmaceutical companies. B. Ensure complete secrecy of financial relationships. C. Maintain public trust and minimize conflicts of interest. D. Exaggerate the benefits of pharmaceutical products. Answer. C. Maintain public trust and minimize conflicts of interest. Question 15. What is the potential consequence of promoting drugs for unapproved uses off-label promotion? A. Enhanced patient safety. B. Legal and regulatory repercussions. C. Increased public trust. D. Strengthened professional integrity. Answer. B. Legal and regulatory repercussions. Question 16. What role do the Labeling and Packaging Rules, 1986 play in ethical pharmaceutical promotion? A. Set maximum prices for pharmaceutical products. B. Ensure that promotional materials are accurate and balanced. C. Mandate the inclusion of excessive information on drug labels. D. Establish guidelines for transparent financial relationships. Answer. B. Ensure that promotional materials are accurate and balanced. Question 17. What is the primary focus of ethical promotion and advertisement in the pharmaceutical industry? A. Maximizing profits for pharmaceutical companies. B. Ensuring public trust through misleading claims. C. Providing accurate information and safeguarding patient safety. D. Suppressing information about potential side effects. Answer. C. Providing accurate information and safeguarding patient safety. Question 18. How does ethical promotion and advertisement contribute to public trust in the pharmaceutical industry? A. By maximizing profits for pharmaceutical companies. B. By promoting unapproved uses of drugs. C. By providing accurate information and upholding ethical standards. D. By minimizing transparency and conflicts of interest. Answer. C. By providing accurate information and upholding ethical standards. Question 19. Which regulatory body in Pakistan enforces guidelines for pharmaceutical promotion and advertising? A. World Health Organization (WHO). B. International Red Cross. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. D. United Nations UN. Answer. C. Drug Regulatory Authority of Pakistan DRAP. Question 20. What is the primary focus of educational programs in ethical pharmaceutical promotion? A. Promoting financial incentives for healthcare professionals. B. Exaggerating claims about pharmaceutical products. C. Providing accurate information to healthcare professionals. D. Disseminating misleading information to patients. Answer. C. Providing accurate information to healthcare professionals. Question 21. What is the potential consequence of promoting drugs with misleading claims? A. Enhanced patient safety. B. Strengthened public trust. C. Inappropriate prescribing practices and potential harm. D. Improved healthcare outcomes. Answer. C. Inappropriate prescribing practices and potential harm. Question 22. What role do pharmacists play in ethical promotion and advertisement? A. Exaggerating the benefits of pharmaceutical products. B. Verifying financial relationships with pharmaceutical companies. C. Educating patients about proper use and potential side effects. D. Monitoring and enforcing regulatory guidelines. Answer. C. Educating patients about proper use and potential side effects. Question 23. What is the primary purpose of the disclosure of financial relationships? A. To increase conflicts of interest. B. To maintain transparency and minimize conflicts of interest. C. To hide financial incentives for healthcare professionals. D. To promote off-label promotion. Answer. B. To maintain transparency and minimize conflicts of interest. Question 24. What is the primary focus of the Drug Labeling and Packing Rules, 1986? A. Promote exaggerated claims about pharmaceutical products. B. Ensure that drug labels provide accurate and comprehensive information. C. Set maximum prices for pharmaceutical products. D. Exclude healthcare professionals from promotional activities. Answer. B. Ensure that drug labels provide accurate and comprehensive information. Question 25. How does ethical promotion contribute to maintaining public trust in the pharmaceutical industry? A. By prioritizing financial gain over patient safety. B. By providing inaccurate information to healthcare professionals. C. By ensuring transparency and accurate information in promotional activities. D. By promoting off-label uses of pharmaceutical products. Answer. C. By ensuring transparency and accurate information in promotional activities. Question 6. Read the article, Manufacture, Import, and Export, in the Drugs Act, 1976 and rules framed thereunder, and answer the questions. Manufacture, import, and export